When planning a wedding, couples have a range of optional events to choose from to make their celebration more memorable and engaging to their guests. But how do you decide which traditions to keep and which to skip? Which extra touches will create lasting memories for everyone involved? Hi, I'm Sal of After Hours Events of New England, the experts in creating a stress-free, unforgettable wedding experience. We bring energy, professionalism, and a passion to making every couple's big day truly special. Visit us at afterhoursevents.com.
Hi, I'm Sam from the award-winning Atmosphere Productions, wedding entertainment with expert knowledge and the difference in quality. Visit us at atmosphere-productions.com. We'll answer those questions and more in today's edition of the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast.
Welcome to Stress-Free Wedding Planning, the podcast that will transform your wedding planning journey from chaotic to enchanting. Sal and Sam bring over 80 years of combined wedding expertise and exclusive insider information to the table. If you're recently engaged, feeling the pressure of wedding planning, struggling with family expectations, but still dreaming of a joy-filled wedding, you've come to the right place. Get ready to unveil the best-kept wedding secrets, discover practical tips and strategies, and learn life-changing lessons for a stress-free wedding. Your unforgettable wedding day awaits. We're here to take you on a transformative journey of love, laughter, and memories. So don't miss out on the podcast that just might change your life. This is the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast with Sal and Sam.
Listen now and discover extra I-Do's elevating your wedding experience. These are wedding insider secrets for a stress-free, fun, and memorable day. Our podcast helps engaged couples navigate wedding planning complexities while addressing family expectations. We'll guide you through the journey of creating the perfect wedding day without unnecessary stress. Get concise tips on budgeting, wedding party management, ceremony, reception planning, and more. Perfect for anyone planning a wedding, all in 30 minutes or less. Trust us, you don't want to miss this.
Learn more about our experience and the journey to help you with stress-free wedding planning in the trailer or pilot of this podcast.
Today's edition is about adding events to your wedding. Extra I-Do's, elevating your wedding experience. But first, if you have a question or concern, go now to Facebook and join us on the Stress-Free Wedding Planning community and ask away. You can also join us on our YouTube channel. Just search for Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast, subscribe, and get it first.
Elevating your wedding experience goes beyond the traditional vows and the reception. In our modern times, couples are increasingly looking for unique ways to personalize their big day, creating memorable moments that resonate with their love story. This edition invites couples to think outside the box and incorporate special touches that reflect their personalities and values. We'll give a breakdown of some popular wedding traditions and activities that can make your big day even more special. And one of the ones that really makes your wedding day special is the anniversary dance. This is where we invite couples to the dance floor and the longest married couple gets a special gift. Why do it? It's a great way to honor and celebrate the longest married couple. So the way that I do it is invite everybody to the dance floor. Everybody that's married, though. The couple would pick a song ahead of time, and then after about 2 minutes into the song, I would then invite anyone that's married for less than a day to move to the edge of the dance floor. Usually that's only our couple. And at that point, I ask the couple to stand at the edge of the dance floor because everybody else is going to form a circle with them holding hands, and they're going to be the start of it. This is also a great way, if they have a gift to give them, you give the gift to the couple right then and there. That way, when it comes to the presentation at the end, the couple has that gift with them, like a bouquet of flowers or a box of chocolates or something like that. And then we start to eliminate the milestones. 1 year, 5 years, 10, 15, 20. I usually stop at 24 because it would mean that everybody else on the dance floor is celebrating a quarter of a century, get everybody to clap hands, and then we move on 30, 40, 50, 60, etc., until we have the longest married couple in the center of the dance floor, and the couple would present them with a gift. And typically the couple know who the longest married couple is, because obviously they're doing the seating chart and they know who they invited. So this is really something that is planned out ahead, but the guests see it as something that's very special and very unique. That's how I do the anniversary celebration dance.
Everyone, notice what Sam said. He didn't kick people off the dance floor. He created a circle around it. And this is very important because you don't want people going back to their seats. You want them to be still involved in that anniversary dance. The only difference for me, I do it pretty much the same exact way, except I actually keep the couple in the middle with the longest married couple. So when we come to that longest married couple, the photographer could jump in and take a picture of all four of them together for a nice little keepsake photo. And then now I could add everyone back onto the dance floor to finish off that dance. Anniversary dance is a great thing. It's something that's been going on strong for a long time, but there has been some changes where I've noticed there's a number of weddings that haven't done it. And there's for the simple reason, if you have a family that has a lot of divorces, this is probably something you may not want to do because you may give some bad feelings throughout the wedding. So keep in mind your guests, your family, do what works right for you. Now, another thing here, we have the bouquet toss. This is something that is going away, but it's something fun. The bride gets to toss a bouquet over her shoulder to a group of single ladies, and you're having some energetic music for them to have fun with it. The tradition is if the single lady who catches the bouquet is the one who's next to get married. There's another option to this too. You could have all women out there. So if a single woman catches it, supposedly she's next to get married. But if a married woman catches it, it's good luck in her own marriage. So again, why do it? It is a fun tradition that adds excitement and a bit of friendly competition. But again, you need to know your group. Do you feel you're going to get enough people out there to make this worth it? If you're not getting a dozen or more women out there, it's going to come out lackluster, and that's something you may not want to do then. But give it some thought, because if you have the people for it, it definitely works out great, and it is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I will add one caveat to that. I do a lot of same-sex couples wedding receptions. So what I've started to do, instead of welcoming all the single ladies or the single men, I say single people. So if the bouquet toss is to be done, anybody that's single, come on out to the dance floor. That's a great way of being inclusive for the bouquet toss. You're not just asking the single ladies, you're asking anybody that's single. And that also goes if you decide to do the garter toss. Instead of just asking for single men, you do the same thing. Anybody that's single. We don't worry about who comes out on the dance floor at that point, because you just want to get the event over and done with. So some people may come up for the bouquet, and same people might come up for the garter toss. Doesn't really matter. In this age of inclusivity, we want to try and get everybody to get involved. One item that I don't do anymore, Sal, is the money dance. I guess I should ask you, do you do the money dance? Is that getting a comeback?
I can't recall the last time I did one, to be honest with you. It's been many, many years. I've had people in the past who want to do the money dance, which is also known as the dollar dance. And they do it for the reason of, we just want to make money. And that's how it's going to come off, because it's not a tradition within your family. So it really needs to be something that's traditional within the family, because they're going to expect it that day. And typically certain nationalities do this type of thing. So that's going to work for that wedding. But if it's not something that your family does as a norm, this is probably not a good thing to do. I've had couples say, I've been to a friend's wedding and it worked out great. But again, it's the background of their family that made that work. They're not going to be at your wedding. That's your friend's wedding, not your family's wedding. So it will most likely not work for you. So something to strongly consider, weigh the pros and cons.
And of course, for those of you that don't know what the money dance is, that's where either the groom or the bride or one of the couples is invited to the dance floor, and guests pay money to dance with either the bride or the groom or the couple. And they pin the money onto the outfit, or they place it into a purse. I've had the best man and maid of honor stand next to the bride and the groom, and all the males dance with the bride, all the females dance with the groom. But, if you're in a same-sex relationship and you want to do the same thing, doesn't really matter. You organize it the way that you want to. It is a great way to interact with your guests. And, it's a great way to kind of start off the dancing too, because once you got everybody on the dance floor, you just play an up-tempo song and bang, the party is away. So, even though we may not be doing it that much, we just wanted to explain what that was in case your culture or your family do that particular event. Now, there's an item that I don't do. So I'm going to let Sal explain what the shoe game is.
The shoe game is, it normally works that you have the bride and groom or the groom and groom or the bride and bride back to back sitting down, and they exchange a shoe. So each one has their shoe in one hand and the other person's in the other. Now, with having the two different shoes, a question is asked. And now what they're supposed to do is answering it by raising the shoe that goes with the question or the answer. And the crowd has a great time because sometimes they learn something about the couple that day, or sometimes the couple learns something about themselves that they didn't realize. So it can be a lot of fun. Again, not meant for everyone, but you got to figure out if this is a good thing or a bad thing for you. Not something you do during the dance portion, something you do during dinner. So it's not interfering with anything else, but it can be a lot of fun if you have the right questions.
And Sal hit the nail right on the head there. He said that it's not to be done during the dancing portion. And that's why I don't do it, because I like to reserve the dancing portion just for dancing. And my couples usually have a musician or they pick specific music. So there's no real way for me to shoehorn it. I'm not a games type of DJ. If you want this at your wedding, make sure that your DJ does this before you book them, because there are DJs that don't do certain things at weddings. I'm not a game guy, so I wouldn't do the shoe game at your wedding. So just a little pro tip there. Check with your DJ ahead of time whether they do this. Now, something that we've discussed before in the previous edition is the grand exit or grand send-off. What is the grand exit? Well, this is when the couple have a big send-off and they leave the reception and there's a guest line to send them off with sparklers or bubbles or confetti. Make sure your facility allows you to use confetti, or you could be cleaning that up for the next week or two. This provides a memorable and festive end to the celebration, and it's a great photo op for your photographer. There is something that I do, and many other DJs too. I call it the private last dance. So what we do here is about 10 minutes or 15 minutes before the actual end of the wedding, we invite all the guests to go outside. And this is where you would have somebody give them sparkles or bubbles or whatever and get them set up. Because once they're getting set up outside, inside, the couple are doing their private last dance with the photographer and obviously the DJ. Once they're finished, bam, they go out. And that makes it a little extra grand exit.
Now, I'm glad you brought up about the cleaning up of the confetti. You definitely need to get permission from your facility. You don't want to cause any trouble there. But also, I'm going to put a little thing here. I'm not a big fan of sparklers. And the reason why is I witnessed a photographer get poked with one of these hot pokers. It wasn't intentionally, but she did get injured and it wasn't cool. Do you really want people who've been drinking all night to have hot pokers in their hand? So confetti is a great way. Bubbles is a great way. These are safer options. And you keep in mind, you do need to ask your facility because many of them sometimes don't allow you to do sparklers. And if you're in Massachusetts, it's actually illegal. Well, we've just explained some extra I-dos elevating your wedding experience, such as the anniversary dance, the bouquet toss, the money dance, the shoe game. And Sam put a little extra something in there for you, the private last dance at the end of the wedding. Coming up next are more ideas like special dances, cake cutting, having a first look, and how about having a photo booth at your wedding?
This is the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast with Sal and Sam, a podcast for engaged couples concerned about wedding planning and family expectations, but who want to have a stress-free, fun, and unforgettable wedding.
On today's Wedding Tip Wednesday, a seating chart is a must. So is numbers. All right, let's explain this a little bit. A lot of couples are having table names now. So with that seating chart, you just have a table name. it's really difficult for guests to find their table without a number. So we encourage always have a table number. Now, why do we need to have a seating chart? Well, guests want direction. No direction equals a mess. The waitstaff need it in order to give the correct food, and no one wants to ask someone to move over or switch tables because there's no room at their table. Having no seating chart leads to many people unable to sit together, or having no chairs at all, or having chairs to be moved. So we always recommend, make sure you have that seating chart.
So go ahead, name your table whatever you like, but always have a table number with it so they could find it easily. You want to make things easier for your guests. And that's another tip from Sal and Sam.
Wedding Tip Wednesday is available on the Stress Free Wedding Planning Facebook group page every Wednesday. Join the group for free.
Welcome back to Extra I-Dos, elevating your wedding experience. Hi, I'm Sal from After Hours Events New England, the leader in making your wedding stress-free. Visit us on the web at afterhoursevents.com.
This is Sam from the award-winning Atmosphere Productions. Visit us at atmosphere-productions.com. We've already discussed little extras you can do to elevate your wedding day. Remember the anniversary celebration dance, the bouquet toss, the money dance, the shoe game. And we gave you the grand exit with a private last dance in there. So all good stuff. So come back next week, got some more great ideas for you. And one of them is the special dances. Sal, help us out.
Yeah, Sam, the father-daughter dance, the mother-son dance. And there's even other things you could do, like I've had where the bride is done an additional dance, such as the mother-daughter, or maybe dad's not around, so it is the mother-daughter. Or both parents are no longer with us and will dance with a sibling, like a brother. And the same thing for the groom. He could have the mother-son dance, or he could dance with his sister. There's just so many ways to do this that creates great emotional and personal touch to the wedding. Now, I'm going to give you one other idea of what to do with these dances too. So say you're having a father-daughter dance. Daughter and dad are very close. Our bride comes in, records a little message for dad, and we mix it into the song so everyone gets to hear it for the very first time that night. Talk about creating emotion. It's a wonderful add-in, and this is something that the groom could do for his mother also. So have fun with it. Create the great emotion that really sucks people into the wedding really nicely.
Of course, every situation is different. So, your personal situation may require you to do maybe a dance with an uncle. I saw that at one of the weddings I did. The parents had passed away, so the bride wanted to dance with her uncle. Absolutely. Your own situation will dictate what special dances there are, and it really is a very emotional and personal highlight of the wedding. Now, cake cutting is becoming less and less. At the weddings that I seem to do, the couples just want to go off and cut the cake in private with the photographer. But you could make the cake cutting something special. It is a long tradition of couples cutting the cake and feeding each other. And that's what you have a picture of in your wedding album. Obviously, you standing next to the cake with a knife, cutting the cake and then feeding each other. It really is a symbolic moment that kind of represents the couple's first task together as a married couple. You've done your first dance. Now you're going to feed each other. So some people like to do it. Some people don't. It really is up to you.
Yes, Sam, I noticed in my own personal weddings that I'm doing that 60% of my weddings are doing one of two things. They're either not having a cake cutting or they are doing it privately. So only 40% are still doing it full live in front of everyone and having it announced. I'm telling you, at the rate this thing is going, it's just going to be like the bouquet toss and the garter toss. I think in the next 10 years, this thing is going to be going away and we're not going to see it like we used to have it. So again, it's whatever you feel is right. If you want to have a cake cutting, do it. If it's private's better for you because you're shy, do it private. If you want to do it in front of everyone, go ahead, have it announced and do it. Do what fits the two of you. Now, there's something that's been added to the wedding repertoire for the photographer, and I love this thing, and it's called the first look. This is where you get to see each other for the very first time prior to the ceremony. I think this is so much more emotional, and it's done privately. So it's between the two of you. And now you're able to go have some pictures that include your wedding party and parents for pictures. And it calms you down. It relaxes you for later on. And now when you do the ceremony, you don't really have to go take all those pictures anymore. You get to be part of the cocktail and eat, drink, and be merry with all your family and friends, and calm down even more. So when introductions to the first dance comes out, not such a big thing anymore. You're feeling very relaxed and very comfortable. Beware though. There's a lot of photographers who do not understand the actual first look. The way I described it is the way it was intended to be. I just had a photographer this weekend who thought the first look was just before the ceremony. I'm going to bring the two together and take their picture, and then we're going to go right into the ceremony. My couple was so flustered. They just felt out of sorts. It made them more nervous than anything else. You want to make sure your photographer knows how to do this, and it's being done the way you want. Bottom line, whatever you want is the way it should be done. How you describe the first look to yourself and how you want it done is how it should be done. But the way I described it at first is pretty much the standard of the industry.
Let me elaborate on that a little bit more, Sal, is that the first look is also used as a time saver, because you'll do the first look sometime before the ceremony and then get your group and family pictures done then. That way, the couple can enjoy the cocktail hour, which you're paying for and probably not enjoying, and you can go right into the reception. So the first look is very important. If you decide to do it, make sure it's done right. Now, a little pro tip that you can add to the first look is once you look at each other and those great pictures are taken, read some private or special vows to each other. Now, these do not have to be the vows that you are going to read during the ceremony. This can be a special vow that you write privately to each other. Because remember, there's nobody else around listening to it. It's just the two of you. This is a great way to wrap up your first look. And now you're all comfortable with each other and you can go right into the ceremony. Love the first look. Something else I love is having a photo booth at your wedding. A photo booth is a fun way to get your guests to be a little bit more silly and a little bit more informal and, have a little fun. It's just like going to the seaside photo booth or the photo booths that used to be in movie theaters. You really have it at your wedding now, and you're doing the same interactive things with props or hats or signs. It's a great keepsake because usually a copy goes in the guest book for the couple and another copy goes to whoever is in the photo booth as a keepsake to take home. Highly recommend a photo booth.
The thing about photo booths is it's not that tin can that you're used to going into when you went to a mall or something like that. There's just so many different types. Do some research. A lot of people just think they see this open air booth, oh, that's how it's done. Or this is mirror booth, this is how it's done. These are the two most common things. No, there are so many themed booths out there that can really elevate your wedding to the next level. And this is another entertainment piece. Some people are dancers, but they love to take their picture. There you go. You have something that's going to take up their time and they're going to have fun with. And the dancers are going to come out some point too to take some great pictures for you. And you have it all in this keepsake book at the end of the night. So you'll remember I should say you'll get to relive your wedding in a different way. These are things you didn't even get to see. So it elevates your wedding a little further. Now, I got another pro tip for you too. The photo dash. That's another fun little thing to do. This is where the couple typically runs table to table and takes a picture with each individual table. So if the DJ does it right, they're playing energetic music. We're having everyone stand up, get on one side of each table. So when the couple run to that table, there's a space for them to go into, take a few shots, go to the next table and keep the energy going. This gets everyone's blood going, gets everyone happy. And you're getting all the guests that are at your wedding this way too. What another great way to have a keepsake.
So there you have it. You've just learned some insider tips on this special edition. Extra I-Dos, elevating your wedding experience. These events can be tailored to fit your style and preferences, ensuring that your wedding day is unique to you. Tell us about some of your unique wedding ideas on our Facebook community.
Now, as you spend the next week planning your wedding, if you want me, Sam, or our community of stress-free engaged couples and wedding experts to answer any wedding-related questions, join us over in the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Facebook group.
Once you're in, go ahead and share your concerns and worries, and we'll let you know if you're on the right track or if there's something we need to work on. The link to join us is in the show notes of this edition. Or go to Facebook and search for the Stress-Free Wedding Planning Community.
A new edition is released every Wednesday. Subscribe and get it first. Remember to do something nice for someone today. And if you can't, do something nice for yourself. We'll catch you then. Ciao.
Thank you for listening to this edition. If you've enjoyed what you've just heard, leave a review and share it with a friend or someone who would benefit from this information. Until next time, it's TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
The Stress-Free Wedding Planning Podcast is produced and copyrighted by Atmosphere Productions in association with After Hours Events of New England.